Hello and welcome to another episode of The Salty Sea. I am your host, Tony, and tonight I am pleased to have Eric Moen on as my guest. Eric, how are you tonight?
I'm great, Tony. Thanks for inviting me on your show.
Thanks for coming on. Now, how long have you been in the Twin Cities?
All my life.
Okay.
Well, that would be 52 years.
Okay. And have you lived anywhere else? Or is just...
I live in, right now I live in the house that my great-great-grandfather built in 1889. He laid the foundation anyway in 1889.
Okay.
I did live for about 5 years in St. Paul with my ex-wife and kids.
Cool. Do you prefer one or the other city more?
I prefer Minneapolis. It's a little bit more happening, but St. Paul is cool too because it's a little bit quieter. There's not as much drama, which is cool.
Uh-huh.
I like them both for different reasons.
Yeah. Now, you do a lot of stuff. I mean, I've heard you do paranormal investigations, you do house cleanings, you do photography, candlestick maker, and now you're into the jewelry fix. Am I missing anything? What else are you into?
Wands, esoteric, magic items, cool stuff. I don't know. I keep busy.
Yeah. That's for sure. Now, I'm really interested in how you got started doing the paranormal stuff because that's an area that I have a lot of interest in. I was wondering, how young were you when you started, like, I guess, looking for ghosts or looking for paranormal stuff, or maybe it just something happened to you? I was wondering if you could explain to us how that got started.
Well, being that I grew up in a haunted house,
Okay.
my house is profoundly haunted, and I never had any of these TV shows come over to my house. I never wanted them to bother the inhabitants therein, either the living or the departed. I have known since I was a young child, we're talking 3 and 4 years old when I grew up in the house, that the place is haunted.
Okay.
And it's remarkably haunted. And sometimes there's a variety of things here. I think that without sounding crazy, but I think there might be a portal in this house.
Really?
Because we get so many weird things coming through here.
Okay. So really young, you started seeing stuff going on in your house. When you say really haunted, by multiple entities, or is it like
Multiple entities,
Yeah.
yes. We've had children. We've got a ghost cat. We've got
Wow.
there's this old dude, this grouchy old dude that hangs out. This might be an interesting interview because last night I had activity, and I'm not promising that you'll see a hatchet come flying through the air. But something could very well happen. I've had interviews on other radio shows where things have happened.
Okay.
Have opened and closed and so forth and so on. So it's kind of cool stuff. No one's been hurt in the house.
Okay.
We've had remarkable poltergeist activity where light bulbs have unscrewed themselves and went flying across the basement. Tools on the side of the wall would come off of L hooks and fly across the room. Now, this is with the lights on. This is with multiple people seeing this.
Wow. Okay. So when did you start doing cleanings of other houses that you think are like infected or need to be taken care of?
Well, when I started Midwest Outer Realm Followers 7 years ago, we found that there was a need for people needing cleansings, cleanings, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of people that will charge, upwards. I've heard of one person charging $3,000 to so-called clean someone's house.
Wow.
I think that's crazy. I don't charge for my services.
Okay.
And I'm not going to throw people under the bus that do either, because they've got their time involved and they do have a skill set. I got a different viewpoint on the departed or the dead or whatever you want to call it. A lot of respect, and I don't think I should charge people for this. I don't guarantee my cleansings, for one thing.
Okay.
And I've got probably over 90% success rate doing so, though. I'm just here to people are inviting me into their home, and it's cool. I enjoy what I do. And these people are afraid. I shouldn't be making money off of people's fear. I try to help them understand what's going on. And if it's really that unbearable, I will attempt to move these things on.
Okay. How many, give me like a 1 out of 10 or a 5 out of 10. How many times have you gone to do a cleaning and found out that it wasn't a genuine problem in the first place?
Well, that's interesting because I will do the clearing anyway.
Okay.
I would say that if it's a psychological condition, I am doing them a service anyway.
Okay.
Without getting all biblical on you, belief is a very, very strong factor in someone's psyche.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can convey a thought form to them that their house is clear or help them clean their own house, I like to empower the homeowner. A lot of it is just getting them in the right mindset. Okay. So I would say 20% probably legitimately don't have any spiritual activity, but that doesn't mean that doesn't need help. These people don't need help. I do have a frustration level factor of about 10 when it comes to methamphetamine use or illicit drug use.
Yeah.
That is more common than you think.
Really?
And I would say that's about, of that 20%, probably 80% of it is drug related.
Drug related.
Yeah.
Has the paranormal activity increased or decreased since you began doing this?
Something just crashed in the other room, by the way.
I heard that.
I'm not quite sure what it was, but I'll leave it alone.
Okay.
Repeat the question, please.
Oh, I was wondering if the paranormal activity in the world has increased or decreased since you have started doing this.
I would almost say that it's decreased. Maybe that's because I've gotten more used to it or accustomed to it. My fear level has dropped off considerably.
Okay.
I feel that some of these entities feed off of fear, and I'm just not as fearful going into some of these homes and institutions that I used to go into frequently, and I'm just a lot more comfortable at these places.
Cool. Okay. Does it usually take one cleaning to do it, or do you have to stay there for like multiple days and work in long periods of time? Or
oh no, it's about an hour and it takes one shot. Okay. And I will come back. A lot of it is up to them. There are some physical things a person can do with their home if it's really cluttered, and if their mindset is really disjointed and cluttered. A lot of times just a physical cleaning of their living environment will help.
Really? Okay.
If they won't do that, I won't come back.
Yeah.
But
okay.
had they done what I instructed them to and they still have problems, which is next to never, I will come back and repeat the clearing.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, I probably came back 3 times in my entire 7 years. So it's a very rare occurrence that I come back.
Okay. Have you ever brought anything home?
Because
I've heard that can happen.
Without sounding crazy, yeah, I think I have.
Okay.
The entity that's in my house, that major male domo that I was talking about, does not like what I have brought home. And when I have brought things home, he's a powerful force. So
wow.
There's been a lot more poltergeist activity. And I do clearings now of myself when I leave someone's house. I'm a lot more careful about that. So it doesn't happen very frequently, if at all now.
Now, you actually have invented some stuff, correct? That you've created to help you with these processes, right?
I've invented the Outer Realm Pod, which is a static field detector on steroids. It's a very sensitive pod. EMF won't trigger it. There's a lot like the REM pod. People that are in the paranormal field know what a REM pod is.
Okay. That
detects electromagnetic field differences, changes in the EMF. A cell phone will trigger a REM pod. The outer REM pod is static. So if there's no static in the air, it won't go off. So now if you place it on carpeting in the wintertime, you get within 5 feet of it, it will go off.
Okay.
Now, static just does not appear out of nowhere like EMF does.
Yeah.
So when this triggers, if you're in the next room and this triggers, there's something creating that. Now the principle behind it is the hair on the back of your neck standing up. That phenomena, that's static charge building in the air. So when there's a ghost, a supposed ghost, and you get that hair on the back of your neck standing up, that is static building in the air. That's what my device detects, and it's ultra sensitive. There are other static pods out there, but you have to damn near touch the antennas on those other ones. I can get within 5 or 6 feet and it'll detect static charge.
Wow.
If I may, one story.
Sure.
Went into a profoundly, profoundly, the most haunted home in the Twin Cities I've ever been to, and I cannot reveal the location.
Okay.
But suffice it to say that it was built on a potter's field. In other words, unmarked graves.
Unmarked graves, yep.
And in the springtime, there's actual bones that come up through the yard. It's that remarkably crazy. Anyway, I was doing a clearing on this house, and I placed an outer realm pot on the first floor and on the second floor.
Okay.
I started off in the basement with my saging. As I was coming upstairs, the first floor pod went off. Cleared that area. The pod stopped sounding. Went upstairs. As I'm going upstairs, the upstairs pod went off. It was like I was chasing these things up the stairs. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And then after the house was cleared, they stopped triggering.
Even though it was on a pottery field, I'm guessing there's probably hundreds of people buried there, maybe?
There's hundreds of people buried there, and I don't even know if I successfully cleared that house. I highly doubt I did, because it was that crazy.
Yeah.
They had to, I feel that in that particular location that some reverence needs to be paid to the dead, some grave markings, at least something to acknowledge that they're there.
Okay.
Because a simple clearing, I don't feel, in my opinion, is going to do it there.
So define what a ghost is to you, or define paranormal to you, because is it more energy, or we're talking an actual like soul flying around?
Well, there's a couple different
house?
ways of looking at it. The way I look at it is a residual, which is like a fabric of time, like a videotape of time being replayed.
Okay.
It's like a recorded event in history. The residual, that's like something happening over and over. A lot of theaters will have like sometimes they'll see like apparitions of a dance line or something.
Okay.
Periodically show up. They're not intelligent, and I can't really explain them, but it's like a fabric, a magnetic piece of time that gets replayed. Something triggers the event. It can sometimes be perhaps related to the lunar phase of the moon.
Okay.
Who knows for sure, but it's not intelligent is what I'm saying.
So you mean it's more like an echo?
Echo, exactly.
An echo. But if it's an echo, why is there stories about like ghosts attacking people and people?
Well, that's intelligent hauntings.
Oh, there's different kinds of hauntings.
Oh, yes,
okay.
There's different levels of hauntings.
Okay.
Then you get into what are known as intelligent, where you can interact with these things. They can talk. I use a Tascam piece of equipment. It's a 4-track recorder that is highly, highly sensitive, and it's used for the recording industry, and it's super high sensitivity. They're about $400, and I can actually listen in on the other side with headphones this device.
Is that the EVP? Is that what they call
That's
that?
EVP, electronic voice phenomena. Exactly. Okay. So sometimes you can interact with them that way. It's kind of like eavesdropping in on them. They speak on a different frequency than we do. They can hear us for some reason. We can't hear them audibly, but we can, through our technology, hear them on their wavelength with these devices that I have.
Can they hear us?
For some reason, they can.
Oh.
They can hear us because we've done EVP, so-called EVP sessions, where we're talking about spiritual things. There was a house in Rush City, Minnesota, and we were postulating about the spirit world, kind of like what we're doing right now. Mm-hmm. And we were recording it all, and we'd get voices like, oh, no, that's not right. That's not how it works. Voices actually saying that.
Wow.
And then we were talking about, without revealing the location, let's just say another part of the state of Minnesota, there was a German veteran, a Nazi that had lived in the home. And as we were talking about the Nazi, I kid you not, we had marching in German instructions come through the voice recorders.
Oh my God.
It was crazy.
Now,
so they can hear us, and how they choose to react is up to them. They're just kind of intelligent beings. I can't really explain it to you further than that. And then the old attack the human routine, I've been scratched, but not severely. I've never heard of anyone being thrown down the stairs. I've never, we might see the hatchet come through the air tonight, but I really doubt it because I've never seen that happen. But we've had things inanimate objects pushed over down in my basement, heavy stools, trunks, sea chests have been kicked, I mean, violently hard.
Wow.
I don't know if it's just a theorem of mine that there's some rule book that says they can't harm us. That God force or whatever, unless you're talking about demonic, and I've seen one demonic case out of, we've done like 150 cases. 150 cases, one was questionable.
How would you know if, at what point do you decide this is a demon, this isn't a ghost?
This one was pretty weird.
Yeah.
This is kind of a scary story, and I will go into it. I'm not going to say what part of the state it took place in. Dude was having a hard time. He just moved into this location, and he was having a really hard time living. His drinking escalated. His temperament changed. He had a rough life to begin with, but the scariest, weirdest, creepiest thing I'd noticed in that house was he had a picture of his stillborn baby girl on his dresser in his house.
Oh, geez. His?
His.
Oh.
And it was not pleasant. It was brownish orange in color, and it was a baby. And he was obsessed. There are 3 different phases of demonics. There's obsession, compulsion, and possession.
Okay.
Obsession. No, I'm sorry. It's been a while since I've dealt with this stuff. Obsession, oppression, and possession, and compulsive. I don't know. Okay, the 3 of them are, I can explain them better.
Okay.
Obsession is where you're just really tripped up by it.
Okay.
It's obsession, oppression, and possession. There, we got it. Obsession, oppression, and possession. Obsession is where you get fixated on an idea or an idea. This guy was obsessed with his stillborn baby, and the guy's got problems, but why would he have a picture of it on his mantle? It was disgusting. Then there's oppression, where you're physically brought down and your mood changes. You become violent or you become horribly depressed. And obsession is where you do the compulsive activities over and over and over again. You're fascinated with the paranormal. You can't get a thought or idea out of your head. Oppression is where you're physically, mentally brought down to a different level. And possession is where the thing takes you over. It's very diabolical.
Yeah.
This guy was probably obsessed and oppressed at the same time. I don't think he was possessed because there was no physical manifestations of the demon within him. Now, what did we find in that house? In the basement, there was a wall that was perfectly clear. The whole basement was fairly clean. There was not a lot of things down there. And at the end of the night, we left, there was the word hi, H-I, in red. I don't know what it was, with the little handprint in red on the wall. And that was creepy. And when we got there, there was a red substance, and I don't know what that was either, seeping up through the cement floor. I don't know. I don't think it was blood, but it was weird. Oof. It was totally weird. So we were getting activity on the EMF. At that time, it was a K2 meter. It's just a simple bar graph of LEDs. And we would talk about, are you a demon? And sure enough, it would light up. It's the only time it would light up is when we were talking about, are you a demon, or demonly activities. It would only light up then. I don't think that this was a high-level demon, if there is such a thing, and I do believe that there are hierarchies of demons. This was a very low one. It was probably called a pet. Pets are like very stupid, unintelligent beings, but they can still wreak havoc on a human being because they are such negative energy. So that was the only time we had that was somewhat what I would call demonic.
Have you ever had to pass cleaning off to somebody else because you couldn't do it?
Yes. There was a case up in northern Minnesota that I wouldn't handle.
Oh, wow.
Whether it be because of mental illness or a true demonic, I wasn't prepared to handle it because it was so severe.
Wow.
It was so severe, it was beyond me. And I'll be the first one. I'm here to help people. If I can't help you, I want to find someone that will. My ego isn't that great that I think I can do everything. My ego's big, mind you. It's not that big. I care about people.
I want to move on a little bit now to something else. You got into the jewelry business. Where are you getting all your stones from, usually?
A lot of them are at the gem shows. We went to the Tucson Gem Show this past winter. We buy wholesale from people from all over the world. We go to the Minneapolis Gem Show when it's in town. I'm going to be going to the Denver Gem Show in September.
Okay.
And there's a few wholesalers around the Twin Cities that I'm in good with. I go to metaphysical shops sometimes.
Okay.
To plug a favorite shop of mine, ZRS Fossils in Minneapolis.
Okay.
I buy a lot of cool things there. And then I do a lot of shaping my own stones. And then I deal with other people like India, Africa, Ethiopia type things. I deal directly with the wholesalers in Australia. That's where I get my stones.
Wow. I feel like are you just making them for like people to wear as like just jewelry, or are you making them because you think they can help people with certain things? Like, are you trying to help people with your jewelry, or is it just for design stuff, you know?
Right now it's mainly just design stuff. I'm going to get rid of this on my screen.
Oops.
There. It's mainly just design stuff. But like amethyst is known as a sobriety stone.
Really? Okay.
And there are some properties behind these things. Bronchentite I sold to a gal that really was helped by it. Bronchentite comes from Sedona, Arizona area, and it's said to align your chakras.
Okay.
I'm kind of a meat and potatoes type of guy, so I like to guarantee things. I cannot guarantee that will align your chakras. If you believe it will, I will sell it to you, and I'll say my blessings upon this stone.
Yeah.
But that's about as far as I'm more into the beauty and the works of art. But the metaphysical aspects of it is huge right now. It's a very popular thing, and I am very knowledgeable about what a gem will do for you in that realm. And I will give people information. And if they're looking for a particular stone, I will direct them to something that is said to help them. So yes, I am there to help people. My main focus is something beautiful and something really cool.
Oh, well, I tell you, I've seen the pictures, and you can check out Eric's pictures of his jewelry on his Facebook. Is there a webpage that you've got going that shows all your stuff as well?
Yes, plutonianshoregifts.com. That's
cool.
And plutonianshoregifts.com or Facebook Plutonian Shore Gifts or Eric J. Moen Facebook. That's who I am, Eric J. Moen with a J in the middle. I've got a lot of photos. I'm branching out. I just invested thousands and thousands, literally thousands and thousands of dollars on equipment.
Okay.
So I'm in this for the long haul. I've got the raw talent, and I am now recognized as an official jeweler by industry gurus.
Oh,
so
congrats.
that makes me feel good too.
Yeah, well, I've noticed you seem to go through phases. I mean, I'm a pretty avid Facebook guy, so I like to pay attention to my friends and everything. And I see, I mean, you were doing wands there, and then you were doing candles and powders, and next thing you know, you're doing jewelry. Is this a phase, or is this what you want to do for the rest of your, working life kind of deal?
I hope it's not a phase, because the reason why I do jump around a little bit, the wands were not producing financially for me. Yeah. I loved making wands. If I can make a wand but how many people, let's face it, how many people need a wand? Now, my wands are works of art. I'm an artist. But how many people need a wand, realistically? I love making them, so that's why I kind of got out of candles. My God, my candles are great.
Yeah.
How much money can I make on a candle?
Well, Yankee Candle seems to be doing all right.
Well, that's true, but you're right. But magic candles, I infuse oils into them and things like that, and it's just a lot of work. Now, the jewelry... That's a good question. That's a hard question you ask, because I do tend to obsess myself on things. And this is going pretty well, though. This is the first time I've invested thousands of dollars into anything other than my education.
Well, I tell you, that rock, what is it, the polisher you got. That's an amazing tool right there. I mean,
Yeah, that's the Cab King 6. I love that.
Yeah.
And I haven't posted pictures of this, but I recently purchased a facetron. So now I'll be able to facet gemstones.
Oh.
Like they do in Israel or India or China. Only I'll be able to do it myself. It won't be automated. It'll be just me and the stone. Cool. One facet at a time.
What was I going to say now? Well, it was a little joke about the wands. I mean, if you come out with all those wands during the Harry Potter craze, you would have been selling them like crazy, you know?
True.
I mean, that
True. It's timing is everything.
Absolutely. So you got the jewelry, you got your setups. I mean, I see you're going all fairs. You got the tarot card thing going on, and I mean, you just seem like you're an overall busy guy.
I have to be, and I was talking with one of my mentors in the gem business, and to begin with, a person cannot survive just selling jewelry.
No.
It's just there's so much competition out there. I need to build a name for myself artistically, and I'm starting to, but I don't charge a lot of money for my creations.
Oh, you're very reasonable, I thought.
I try to be as reasonable as possible to make it as favorable for everyone to get into an emerald or a sapphire. That's legitimate quality. That's not garbage. But anyway, I'm not getting rich off of that. In the meantime, I got the gift of divination. Oh, and that's still a passion of mine. That is scrying, otherwise known as tarot card or crystal ball work.
Oh, okay.
Meditation and helping people through that avenue. Guidance. And it's for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah. Well,
but people come to me for information, so.
Yeah, is that your main cash crop, the tarot cards? Do you do a lot of that?
It's 50-50 right now.
50-50 right now? Okay.
I'm doing a show. I did a show today up in Zimmerman, Minnesota. I read cards all day. Tomorrow I'm going to be busy. Down in Lake City, I'm speaking and doing I'm doing a workshop on tarot and crystal ball.
Okay.
And I'm selling my jewelry and I'm doing readings. So, man, it's just really super busy, which is good. I'm not complaining. I'm getting married.
That's right. You're getting married. Congratulations. That's awesome. I forgot about that. When's that happening?
September 25th.
Man, that's awesome. Good for you. I'm glad you found somebody, man. That's great. Well, I just wanted one more question with you tonight. I think, what's the scariest thing you've ever seen? Ghost-wise. Like, what literally scared the living hell out of you?
That picture of the baby.
That
was the scariest thing. And that told me what these things are capable of doing to our minds.
Okay.
Now, I've seen full body apparitions. I've been startled. I've had things thrown at me. I've had doors slammed, which scared the hell out of me. Yes.
Yeah.
But what disturbed me the most was that picture of the baby.
Picture of the baby, man. Also, you know what? I do have another question. I'm sorry about that. When you go out there, is it just you usually, or do you have a team with you that usually goes out?
I have a team.
Okay.
We're getting away from that right now. The clearings, I go mainly by myself.
Okay.
The last investigation we did was the oldest house in St. Paul. It's a mansion over by Four Paws.
Okay.
And that was this January. I'm getting away from the investigations because my curiosity has been solved. The ghosts exist.
Yeah.
I don't need to get on TV anymore. I've been on TV enough. That's not on the bucket list. I just want to help people now.
Well, you bring actually a good point with the ghosts exist. Is that the only reason investigations are done? I mean, if you ask me personally, we've already figured out that ghosts exist. I think that's true already. But I mean, the way I look at it is it's more of like going to an art museum. You're going to look at something that might be hard to see, because I just find it fascinating, but you take it to a whole nother level. And I find that amazing that you've been able to, go and see so many incredibly crazy things, but do you have like pictures and film of all the stuff that you've done? And
I've got a YouTube channel. I got a jet flame.
I hear that. Yeah.
For a moment. It's kind of annoying. Eric Moen,
okay.
YouTube channel. I believe it's just simply Eric Moen. I've got a whole list of videos. I've got what I feel is the best poltergeist activity captured on film that's legitimate. It's called Ghost Moving a Camera Part 2.
Okay.
Ghost Moving a Camera Part 2. And that's where I had we had a camera, a still life camera, just a still camera placed on a nightstand or a small coffee table. And we had 2 infrared night vision cameras covering that angle. We just set the camera down. We weren't doing that as a prop or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And we were doing a ghost box session, which we use a radio to listen in on the dead with. And all of a sudden we heard this clicking noise. And we didn't know what was going on. We didn't find out until after we reviewed the film. But that camera that we had placed on that table had lifted up, twisted, and the lens cap got popped off.
Oh, boy.
And it was placed back down. And both camera angles caught it.
Wow.
It is so cool. And is it dramatic? It's not dramatic. It's just simply cool.
Cool. Yeah, no, it's just crazy that you caught it. What's up with the cold temperature thing? Why does the temperature fluctuate so much around these places?
Well, I believe that a ghost, when it's trying to materialize, requires energy.
Okay.
So whatever energy is available, i.e. our body force giving off energy, or the ambient temperature in a room, they draw energy to manifest, to give themselves energy. So that's an endothermic reaction. Endothermic meaning removal of temperature.
Okay. Okay.
That's not scientifically correct, but
It's
whatever. The
layman's
endothermic
terms.
is, the temperature drops because they're drawing energy from that environment. And exothermic, which is where the temperature increases, is a lot more rare. Some people believe that's demonic. I don't know. But I've never really ran across exothermic where the temperature has gotten dramatically warmer. But yes, colder, yes, a lot of times.
A lot of cold. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, this is the part of the interview. I just wanted to hand it over to you. Do you have anything coming up that you wanted to let the viewers know about, or any specific pages or anything that you want to tell them about? Go ahead.
Well, PlutonianShoreGifts.com is where I've got my artwork. I've got my wands, some examples of those. Magus Books and Herbs in Minneapolis and Dinkytown. Magus, M-A-G-U-S, Books and Herbs has got my wands. I still work with wands. Some of my creations are very original, where I use megalodon shark teeth, prehistoric shark teeth incorporated into the wand. I got some of my candles there. White Buffalo in Anoka. Big heads up on that. That's where I work doing tarot card readings every Wednesday. 104 East Main Street, Anoka, Minnesota. Wednesdays, you can call the store and make an appointment. I will be there. I do crystal ball readings and tarot card readings. Midwest Outer Realm followers, www.midwestouterparanormal.com is my website for the ghost hunting.
Okay.
MidwestOuterParanormal.com, or you could simply Google Midwest Outer Realm followers, Morph, M-O-R-F, and you'll find us. That's about it. Yeah. That's
Okay.
it.
All right. Well, thank you very much for spending this time with us, Eric. I appreciate it very much. And I wish you the best luck in all your endeavors, and congratulations on getting married in September. Thank you very much.
Right on, Tony. Thank you for having me.